in March 2009 was really my first introduction into the street art world and kind of showing people what I could do. I had this idea of there's a lot of religious turmoil going on, and even that, besides that, just observing the community and seeing people, you know, at some point you've got to take control of yourself, and you've got to do it for yourself, and you got to stop waiting for other people to do the stuff for you, you know. And it occurred to me, like, of course, what's the most impactful thing that I could always touch on is religion, in a way, and that it is kind of open-ended, and it can touch both sides, you know, whether it's love or hate, or whatever, however you want to look at it. I mean, that's the point of art. It's subjective. So I had come up with this idea of Jesus covering his eyes, not knowing really what people's reaction would be, but really, again, like that message of, okay, it's fine, believe in whatever you want to believe in, okay, but you also have to realize that you're the one that has to take the steps, because it's not going to magically happen. So we pasted this See No Jesus wall in New Bedford, and I wasn't prepared for the outcome from that. The next morning I woke up and it was on the front of the local newspaper, and I said, oh boy, here we go. But what I found, and again, this is something that really, again, we talk about like staying around New Bedford. This was one of those things, and it showed me how powerful street art was, and it showed me, you know, that people in this community, when something good happens, they appreciate it or they come out to see it. And what I found was people coming, I don't know, hundreds coming, like lines of people trying to take pictures with this icon that I put up on the wall, people laying flowers down, people being so touched that they were crying in front of it. And for a few weeks, you know, it was on top of a lot of news coverage. It was on CNN. It was, I had family out in California that had heard about it. So those are those things that you go, oh, okay, it was like my affirmation of why I was doing it, you know? And that really kicked off a road of just going at it with passion, you know, 100%. I don't know. I know one thing. I don't do this to sell artwork. I don't do this for other people's opinion, you know. It's not for a critic. It's really not even for a gallery, to be honest with you. And I have different thoughts on what's going on with the gallery scene nowadays, and the monetization, and really the unfair treatment of artwork and people's intellectual property. So I have taken a back seat from, you know, sort of, oh, please show my paintings in your gallery, and here's $40 to take a look at my slides, you know, or whatever you can do. I don't, that's not what I'm gonna do it, you know. I'm gonna produce the artwork and see what else happens, you know. If I'm always for the last show that I just had, you know, a little tiny gallery in here, and Vic approached me and said, hey, you want to do a show? I was like, okay, but I just want to do whatever I want, you know? And I think that that's a big thing, because galleries, I've had shows in New York, I've had shows in Newport, I've had shows in Philadelphia, and it left a bad taste in my mouth of their motivations, you know. And I also the unfair practice of, you know, taking 50-60% of an artist's work. I mean, that also doesn't leave much meat on the bone for people that want to buy your work. So I love doing the super flat stuff with New Bedford. They're a great organization, and again, they give me freedom to do whatever I want. They say, you show up and paint. I can see doing much more with that stuff, and sort of holding some more of my own events and seeing, you know, it's about the community and coming down and hanging out and painting and talking art and just having a good time. But do I have any set plans? No. You know, just not to be caught up with what you're making. You know, as a young artist, we emulate a lot of things, we look at other people's things, but your ultimate goal is to find your thing. And for a lot of us, you know, we get stuck with paint. Oh, I want to paint like Van Gogh. You know, I want to paint like Monet. I want to be an impressionist. Well, those movements are gone. And there's no point in repeating that stuff. There's something to be learned with repeating that stuff, but you gotta put the business aside, and before the business, you have to become your own thing. And that only takes through putting every single day, 2 hours a day if you can, an hour a day, a half hour a day, doing something every single day, and good things come from that, you know? And your brain and your body will take care of the rest of the stuff naturally.